So Sarah Beth did it. She officially made the stupid move. She named her replacement nominee, and Derek X is now on the block next to Claire, and he's about to get evicted. Now, right now, I'm going to focus on the stupidity of Sarah Beth before I go into talking more about the not white power alliance called the Cookout. Now, Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth is one of these chicks that can put on the cutesy voice, but she is ruthless. Very ruthless. I mean, we saw her sing a little song about betraying her team, and now she pulled this move after assuring, Derek X that she wasn't targeting him. But she's ruthless, but she's also dumb. And that's the problem. It's good to be ruthless, but you can't be dumb as well. And this is an obviously dumb move. I mean, she is protecting people who she has little to no interaction with since she's been in the house, namely Hannah and Tiffany, which obviously should have been the two people that she put on the block, and with the replacement of Derek F, because she doesn't talk to these people. She doesn't talk to them at all. And yes, I said these people. But she doesn't talk to them. But for some reason, she got it in her head that she's going to portray and nominate the people that she actually has had talks with. People like Claire, who I believe she's in some alliance with, and people like Derek X. And I believe she made this move not so much so because of Kyland and his influence, even though that's a factor, but I think she made the move because she likes the idea of being ruthless. I mean, maybe she watches one too many animes. I mean, I've seen a video of her doing a little dance with her friend at some anime convention. And in anime they have like these characters, and they typically have villains that have some sort of ruthlessness behind them. And so maybe she thinks she's in some sort of anime world, and she's like cosplaying that in her mind, and so she thinks the better move is to betray allies and friends. But she doesn't have a fucking clue that her little lily white ass will be targeted and evicted primarily because she's white. And that's the reason behind this whole season. Hell, it's not even a real season. Just go to Kyland if you want to hear about that. Because I have to bring up this comment again that Taryn Armstrong covered, where Kylan told the cameras that he wants an invitation to play the game again, so he can have a chance to play the game for himself, because he's not playing the game for himself this season. I mean, first of all, the entitlement behind that, like, this is a once in a lifetime experience. You shouldn't assume that you get another invitation, but that's how these pro wokes are. They're entitled as fuck while also trying to play, victims all the time. But he wants another chance to play again because he's acknowledging this isn't a real season. This is a season about this race play bullshit and pushing this racist agenda as woke and virtuous. And they had the clear advantage coming into the season because they had 6 so-called black people get cast this season. Then you have to also count Frenchie, the self-proclaimed proud member of the NAACP. So that's 7 right there. And then production was an advocate of this bullshit, because when you look at other projects that CBS is advertising and promoting, it has a lot to do with like pro race play, gender play bullshit. And again, they've already done this race war nonsense uh, back in Survivor, during season 13, I believe, with the Cook Islands, where you had the Asian Alliance, the White Alliance, the Black Alliance, and the Hispanic Alliance. So CBS, they have proudly and shamelessly engaged in the racist programming before with their reality TV shows. But again, the fact that Kylan stated to the cameras, like, I need to get another invitation because this isn't even a real game for me. It's about the cookout. Just goes to show you that this isn't even a real season. So even if you get your token winner this season, a so-called black person, you can't even acknowledge it as a real win. When Kylan himself is talking about it not being a real season for him. And I remember Xavier was talking to himself in the bathroom, saying how he sacrificed Whitney, he sacrificed Christian, for the cookout. And then that brings me to like these bitches who ain't doing nothing. And like they're making moves, they're winning comps, they're making sacrifices. But you have Hannah and Tiffany mainly, giving all praises to their goddesses, the spiritual leaders of the cookout, Devon and Bailey, which you had Hannah talking to the cameras, saying, "Oh, I hope they rooting for us." Two shit ass players who are a bunch of cons and hustlers of this race bullshit. Bailey, who grew up in a goddamn suburban white neighborhood, and Devon trying to make it into one. But yeah, this is who the cookout is shouting out, and I'm supposed to root for this bullshit? Please. But while she also shouts them out, she talks about her crush on Enzo. Yeah, that's the cookout for you. And we shout out, oh, Black Queen, Black Power. But also, I'm in lust for Enzo. All these motherfucking swirlers in this super black, all black, everything alliance. But again, it's typical with these pro black woke movements, man. It's fucking typical. And it's sad and pathetic for the game because all this has done is set a precedent. Because now, in every following season, people are going to expect the race war. It's like, oh, there's one too many black people that's still in this house, or one too many whites, or Hispanics, or Asians. Whoever they decide to cast, people are going to be looking at identities and seeing how many remain because they're going to be reminded that this cookout thing existed. So bravo, CBS. Bravo. You now have every cast after BB23 looking for the racial tribes that are in the house. So good job on you. In your effort to promote diversity, inclusion, all you did was create more racial animus and racist racial awareness, because that's going to understandably following this season. But again, this is what you woke dumb motherfuckers asked for. And all you do is you create more chaos than you do progress. Even though you idiots like to call yourselves progressive. And now the only hope to break up this not white power alliance is Claire, because she had a recent conversation speaking about how she's going to target X, with Big D as the pawn to do it. And thanks to X putting on the cape and winning this veto, she'll have an easier time doing that because he's already an automatic nominee, I believe. Because again, Claire is aware, just like Christian Birkenberger was aware, that there's a race-based alliance going on. I mean, apparently Derek X is still clueless to that fact, even though they just had that conversation. But Derek X is soon to find out that there is one white male in the house, and that's him. Because Asians are white. Before Stop Asian Hate popped off, Asians were being called white, and being called white as an insult by the woke mob online. I mean, all you have to do is take a peruse through Black Twitter, and you see all the negative bullshit that they have said and cheerleaded shamelessly online. But yeah, Big Brother 23, it has offered us a lot. What it has lacked in gameplay and in strategy, it's provided with a lot of social commentary and exposure of a lot of the bullshit that has always existed. Because every little woke group who claim to be oppressed, they don't really care about oppression. They just want the opportunity to be the oppressors. And based on all the comments that I've seen on Woke BB Twitter and that I've seen from the cookout members themselves, they just prove that fact. They're not against racism. They're not against oppression. They would just like to be in the position to be the racists and be the oppressors and benefit from it, which is why I can't root for bullshit like that. But again, this whole woke bullshit season and gameplay that's going on, it's still a game that's sponsored by the white family that owns CBS. So please believe this shit doesn't happen still. It doesn't happen without your white liberal masters allowing it to happen. So it still isn't your win, dumb niggas. So deal with that.